Well, good morning, everybody. So, I'm just working on cleaning up this disaster zone that was left from my reshuffling yesterday of moving my desk that had stuff on it over here, and then that piece of furniture also had stuff up on it that is like kind of in disarray. Okay, so I gotta work on this some more. But while I'm putting stuff away, I just came across my box that I had ordered of these. Okay, and there was two of them in the box, and it was like just under like $12 to get two of these. And now, whoops, if you look at it, the light bulb is like kind of like, you can't just replace the light bulb, but one of these lasts for a very long time. And it's got a dimmer switch on it that you can turn this down to like extremely low wattage, like a night light, or get it to put off quite a bit more light. And it's got a USB plug. Okay, so if you want to just put this in your wall socket, you just plug it into one of the little like phone charger USB thingamabobbers, and you can put it into the wall. But this is the thing I was getting ready to put away. This is my battery pack that I bought a while ago because my cigarette lighter plug-in electric thing for the phone charger in my car didn't work, and I bought this, and I hadn't realized this was when I had my black Accord. I hadn't realized that, oh, I need to just replace the fuse. I thought it was a bigger problem. But anyways, I got this for even just like road trips, and it's a solar battery pack that you can also plug into the wall and stuff like that. But I just wanted to mention that the cool thing about just these really inexpensive little lights is not only because I try not to burn like a constant large amount of electricity, so I wanted to keep a light on upstairs all the time, basically because I forget to turn it on and I want to go up the stairs, and then sometimes I got a bat flapping around my head, and then if it's totally dark upstairs and you've got a bat flapping around your head, it's not a good time, people. It's not a good time. He hasn't come upstairs yet, but he was down in here like that video I posted on maybe 2 or 3 times so far. So occasionally he'll come up in the bedroom and flap around my head while I'm sleeping because I don't know. But anyways, so I just keep this on up there all the time on a really low setting. And if I wanted to go camping or if I had a power outage, I would still be able to have just like a little like nightlight if I wanted with my solar pack. Plugging this up during the day, like setting it out to charge in the sun, and then plugging my little light in. Okay? Anyways, that's all. I haven't had my coffee yet, and I got a big mess, and I didn't post all my videos from last night because my app again was refusing to recognize my terabyte memory card and my device, and I wasn't able to splice my videos together. But if I would have posted that, you would have seen that this was actually even worse last night because I got caught up with my dishwasher situation, and I'm going to try not to make this video go on forever. But I've been caught up with this, and I was getting an FTD code, which is failure to drain, and then I realized that myself had been a mental deficient, and there was a plug. There's a plug where the dishwasher drains into the garbage disposal up above here. And I saw it and I was like, yeah, I got to take that plug out. And usually when things like that happen, I just do it right away. And for some reason I didn't. And then later on, I thought I had already taken the plug out and I hadn't. And so it wasn't draining. But it is draining now. I did do a test run with some dishes. It's not really a good time because my water is so hard that it's like some of the stuff that is stuck on the dishes, like this really dinky bowl that I have, it's kind of, some of it's kind of crusted on there from hard water stuff. Like you can even see just this clear glass lid. Okay, this is why I had to get the water softener, because you want a dishwasher, or what I want is an on-demand water heater. Well, if you get an on-demand water heater with one of these, you gotta like decalcify. You gotta get all this scrum from the hard water off. Like you gotta rinse it out with vinegar like every week. With as bad as my water is, I'd be cleaning that on-demand water heater constantly. And I'm not ready to get that thing yet, but I do eventually want to get one so I can actually fill my bathtub up all the way, because that to me is like luxury. Other people, they want 50 feet of granite countertop. I just want to be able to fill up my bathtub all the way with hot water and things like that. So, Then I do have a place that I could put another light up in here. And I thought about, I don't know if I'm ever going to do this or not, but they make these like fake wooden beams that are hollow. And I thought about at some point in time bringing a couple, and then you can like put them on the ceiling. I thought about at some point in time bringing a couple in through here somehow. I don't know how I would do it. And I thought about putting one up there. Eventually I'm going to open up this wall a little bit more maybe. We'll see. Once I get the wood stove back in its spot, once I get the concrete board put up on the wall and everything, we'll see how it actually goes. But anyways, y'all, I got a disaster. I'm like wanting to have a peaceful space, so even though I'm like turning it into a disaster over and over and having to clean it over and over, and then it's just like a disaster the next day, I gotta do that and take care of that. I don't know when this is gonna happen, but anyways, I took a lot of videos for y'all of like all this stuff, of like kind of me having to put this stuff in, and I had to take a hacksaw to the other pipe that was too long to get it to fit my new garbage disposal. And then now that I've rotated this back proper because this other hose was a bit short, and I didn't realize I had set aside a bag that had a whole nother hose in it. But anyways, this thingamabobber has got this, I need a new thingamabobber, clearly, because this is like not gonna work out. But I'm hoping that once this is great, it costs a little bit extra money to get one of these with a tailpipe on it, but now it's like this is going to be able to fit into another tube, and I'm not going to have to worry about having, because the way it is now is like this little dinky thing would have to plug in to the old one all the way up here, and this dinky thing wouldn't stay on, and then the threads are like messed up on the old one, and so I keep leaking, and I got damage down in here. Okay, you can't really see it so well, but there's like a drip hole where there's like actually a hole rotted through my OSB. So at some point that stuff needs cut out and replaced, but that's not going to happen quite yet. I just got to try to keep things nice and dry down here, and maybe get some other, I don't know, I need something better than that dinky, nasty, smelly bucket. But it was just like in the basement or something. Or maybe it was already down here. So that's why that's down there. But anyways, I'm feeling pretty good about things. I got to go to the store and get this thingamabobber, but I need to go reevaluate what I need to get my water softener hooked, my water boss hooked up. And then also my spin down filter that's going to go in after the water heater. Because again, sometimes I have this like black gunk stuff that comes up out of my water heater through my hot water lines. And then also, when you're tripping on stuff, it's just too much, guys. But now, I've also been uncovering things of value like this. Like some of this stuff will be useful for me that's been hiding. And I will need one of those end caps for where my rain chain is. I don't know. I gotta work some stuff out. But anyways, this is way, way, way smaller than my other spin down filter, but this one actually has threads on it, unlike that one, which I really like. And it's got a brass top, so it's not ever gonna rust. And then of course it's got the little drain outlet. Now at the hardware store, they wanted $1 a foot for the hose that would fit to come off of this, just like the bulk hosing that you have them cut to size. And so I think it said something about it's supposed to fit a garden hose, so I gotta investigate the situation. Like, maybe I can just get a cheap garden hose and cut off the end or something. I don't know. But anyways, I had to get my other normal water filters. They have a thing up top that you spin that turns off the water to them that this one don't have. So I had to get a shutoff valve, and I got a shark bite one. You guys, that's $20. Just get a shutoff valve, okay? And now the other thing is, since it doesn't have this thing, well, it would go over here, the shutoff valve, okay? Since it doesn't have that thingamabobber on the top, because, maybe just flushing it out is going to be good enough all the time, but what if I need to get in there to that element, So, anyways, shutoff valve here, and what I should do is I should get a swing gate check valve to put on the other side, because then the water goes up upstairs, and then so when I try to take this off, I'll just have to basically, since I'm not going to have a check valve, I'm just going to have to drain all the water that's up above it when I drain it before I take the filter body off, if I ever need to take that off. Okay, so it's like one of those trade-offs, because this is a brass body, so, and I don't think my other spin down filter had the thing that my other filters have either. So anyways, there's no bypass valve or anything on this, but I'm just gonna have to be diligent, because basically anything that gets caught up in here would have been getting caught up in my screens on my sink, on my laundry machine, on my dishwasher, and then to unplug those underneath, like my laundry machine, to unplug those, get the stuff off the screen. Wow, what a freaking nightmare. So this is why I went ahead and spent up the money on this, because there's going to be tons of stuff probably breaking off of my water heater once I put the softener in. So it's worth it. If any of you guys have well water, it's another thing you can think about, because a lot of my sediment falls down in the bottom and I have to flush it out the bottom of my water heater, but there is plenty of stuff that still ends up coming out. When I had this where the water comes in, like right after my pump, I wasn't actually getting any sediment, because my problem is like more very small grain water hardness, and then like the iron and the iron bacteria situation. So anyways, I was very happy to have found that thing exists. Hopefully I'll be happy once I get it actually in. And I've learned that in my basement, it's a semi-wet basement, I can't buy like steel anymore, for example, because it's just gonna rust. I have to get either stainless, or I need to get brass. I need to spend the extra money. But my old large spin down filter, they have other ones that have a 1-inch inlet. Okay, and this one is interesting because you have choices here. You've got threads on the inside that are 3/4, and you have threads on the outside that are for 1 inch. Okay, so you got choices without having to get plumbing. But the other ones, it's like you have to glue on PVC. So you have to get the PVC glue, and then if you want to move it around or whatever, you've got to like cut all that stuff out. And it's not good. Whereas this, it's like I can move it to a different part of my plumbing system later if I want. Okay, I'm gonna end this video soon because it's getting kind of long. It's gonna take hours to upload, but like I mentioned, for now I'm just gonna put that stuff in there. But eventually, and this area is a disaster, eventually my water heater is gonna get put up so that the bottom inlet is gonna be higher than my wood stove, and my water heater tank is gonna go right here, and it's gonna have a copper coil wrapped around my flue, and then after my hot water heater, then I'm gonna have my on-demand water heater. So they're gonna kind of work in conjunction, and I'm not gonna actually have to keep my water heater on to a hot temperature in the summertime or anything like that. But what it is my inlet, my water inlet, the temperature is really cold, so it's going to be like a standing tank where the water can kind of slowly work towards coming up to room temperature as well. So I'm not spending as much on my on-demand water heater. But this is my disaster that I got going on right now. Okay, because like even this I had all over the table, and these are really affordable. You can look into these. They're these little fabric pots that I had bought a long time ago. I gotta set this down for a second, my bad. But they're these really very inexpensive bulk pots that you fill up with potting mix and you can plant things in. But obviously, because they're made out of this material and not plastic, they'll dry out real quick. So you have to you can put a bunch of them into like a larger container or something, or just pack them in real tight together. Okay, but I bought these a long time ago, and I'm gonna be able to still use these. It's just maybe not right now. Anyways, it's a disaster. I can't find what I want to do is I wanted to find my favorite meme of my template, and it says gardening because murder is wrong. Okay, because we are master gardeners, aren't we? I love you, Hezekiah. But anyways, take it easy, y'all.